Everyone. I think I'm live. It always takes a little time in the beginning. Let's see what happens here real quick. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Oops, here we go. Okay. Hey, thanks for joining today. I hope everybody's doing really well. For those who know me, who have been with me, I've been usually I do a New Year's kind of meditation, kind of letting go of the old stuff, bringing the new, all that good stuff. But what I thought I wanted to do today, or this year anyway, is do it in two parts. I feel like there's a little bit of preparation that I'm recommending that you do before we do this New Year meditation, which I will do. Usually I do it on January 1st, but I don't know. I'll have to see how I feel. Maybe the first, the second, we'll see. But before I begin, I just want to just tell you a couple of things, a couple of announcements. I would like to offer a discount, actually a 10% discount to end this year on anything on my website, like anything you'd like. For all those who are subscribed, so you will get a newsletter and you'll be able to access anything on my website, carolinecorey.com. Omnium Universe, it will take you to the same one, and also superhumanfilm.com. So just go there, go to the products, or go to the classes, go to the healing sessions, whatever your heart desires. So a discount, we will send you the newsletter. If you're not subscribed, I don't really bombard people with newsletters, maybe once a month or something like that, unless we have a special announcement. So just go to sign up for updates on both websites, and then, or either one, it's totally fine. And then we will send you that information so you can start the new year with some goodies that for yourself or for your loved one that you can share. Okay, so that's that. I also have only a dozen, for those who are interested, my book, The Divine Plan Now and Beyond 2250. It's packed with very, very cool information. It's very cosmic. It's really like the bigger picture, even beyond the earth bigger picture. It's like universal bigger picture. It's more how you fit in within the bigger story. And so for those who are interested, or if you already have a book, you want to offer another one to a friend, I have only a dozen autographed ones. So for those who like that kind of stuff, make sure, again, go to the website, carolinecorey.com, and go to the products and go to and select the book, Divine Plan Now and Beyond 2250. And don't forget to request in the comments, write a little note, say, hey, I heard Caroline say that she has an autographed copy of the book, and we will send you that one. I only have a dozen. So for those who are interested, do it quickly. Okay. So these are my announcements. So what I'd like to do is kind of like, I feel like I want to do it in two parts this year. Like I said, I feel like there's a little bit of homework to do for this year before I do that meditation that I do every year. So it's really about how you are going to manage, how you're going to succeed in the year to come, and the many years to come. But let's say the first year that's coming, 2021, because as you can imagine, we will be challenged. We will have some more issues with this whole situation. So I really, really feel that this is a very important time we talked about reset, to rethink how you are operating on this planet, how you are navigating this, this earthly reality, and more importantly, like how you're going to manifest what you want when so many people, so many other entities, and so many people are creating a different reality than that goes in contradiction with your own. And so that's the reason why I recommend that you do this little bit of homework, and I think it will go a long way. So here's my 2 cents. Take a piece of paper, I mean, maybe a big piece of paper and a pen, something to write with. And if you don't have one right now and you just want to keep listening and you want to do it later, that's totally fine. But I really, really, really think that you should take the time to do this. I think it's with what's happened in 2020, it's an opportunity to change gears, I feel. And so so on this piece of paper, I would start with the title, New Agreement with Myself. Now, for those who have been studying with me, working with me, you have an idea. Even if you've done your life agreement, I would say do it again, because it's a different time. The collective consciousness is going to throw at us all kinds of new stuff that we weren't kind of, prepared for, or it's going to continue to bring up all these things which didn't happen, or you may not have taken into consideration like two years ago. So that's the reason why I recommend that no matter what happened before, what you think you did before, do it again. New agreement with myself. And so that's the title. And item number 1, I would write down, and also it's very important to write down or to say out loud, because when you're doing that, you are putting in it's not just a thought, it's now wanting it to materialize, wanting it to manifest. So item number 1, I would say, ask the question, what is my true higher purpose here on earth? I am intending to know and be aligned with my higher purpose. So very important. That is basically the direction you're going towards. That is kind of the goal, if you will. And so even if you don't know what your higher purpose really is, by you asking this question, writing it down, it will start to manifest. Now, everybody's got a different higher purpose. For example, and why is that important? I'm going to tell you. So, for example, I have been obviously for many years very clear on my own higher purpose, which is I came in already with some kind of information and memory, and I know the energy that I hold, the information, and for me, for example, as an example, my higher purpose is to do everything I can to share this energy. The energy contains the information. It's not information that is separate from the energy. That's what people get confused about. And so everything that I do, now I'm speaking with this energy. I'm bringing this energy through. Even I'm just talking. I don't have to be doing a meditation. My books, my websites, all the information in my movies, anything that I am expressing is now holding that information, but also in my daily life, for example, so that's kind of my work, that's my career, my expression, but also, for example, my relationship. So I want that every person, every relationship that I have, whether it's a parent or a friend, or it doesn't matter, also to reflect that energy. I want this energy to be shared with them, for example. And if it's not in that alignment, then I kind of stay away from it. So what I'm saying is that when you have that as kind of a big picture and you're going towards that, everything in your life, from career to relationships to anything that you do, starts to get to align with that purpose. And why is that so important? Because you start to feel free. You start to, first of all, deep inside you, you feel that that purpose is why you came here in the first place. So you stop kind of wasting your time. You stop being pulled right and left. I should get this job just to make money until I can get to my higher purpose. I should be with that person, just so I can, kind of get to that point to do something, and then I can get to my higher purpose. You see, you're being pulled right and left, and you're really just wasting time. Because what happens is that the older you get, the closer you get the more you realize that you've just been wasting your time. And that kind of also pulls you, not only it pulls you out of your alignment, and distracts you, but it starts to drain your energy. You don't realize it until one day you're like, wait a minute, I am not living my truth. I didn't come here to do this. And so at the end, it's going to catch up with you, is what I'm trying to say, no matter what. So why not start now? This is a huge opportunity to start right now, because it is going to catch up with you. You came in with an agreement to do something specific, and you're not doing it, basically. So before you exit, you're like, oh, I haven't done, all my relationships have been totally misaligned. All my work has been totally misaligned. Everything that I've done, moving to this location because this person wants me to, or because this and that, all the decisions in your life have been misaligned with that ultimate goal, and it's going to catch up with you. So that is the reason why. The faster, the sooner you realize that you should start aligning. The first of all, you will start feeling happier because that pulling right and left goes away, and you're more focused, and then you start to feel also your higher consciousness. You start to feel kind of the support of the universe. All kinds of stuff starts to happen. And so that freedom comes because you are in your inner truth. Okay. I am doing because that's what I truly believe is what I came here to do. So that's the reason why I'm kind of stressing on this point, because that is so, so, so important. People don't realize how important this is and how this will kind of guide you. And so some people will say, okay, so Caroline, you came in and you knew a lot, and and it's easy for you. And no, that's not true. If you are not clear on what exactly you want to do, you can start with the simple things. For example, and also it doesn't have to be so huge. Like, for example, some people are here to share with the masses information or knowledge or whatever. Others are here, for example, to just focus on how to bring up a child. It sounds boring, small? No, because as you're doing this, you are still kind of creating a reality for you and this child, and you're learning how to be the mother or the father of that child in a new way, so that you can ultimately share it with the collective on some level. In other words, you are always contributing to the evolution of humanity. That is the ultimate purpose. And so for those who are not clear, don't think that unless you're doing something, extraordinary, you're not really doing a higher purpose. That is not true. So start asking that question. Okay. Am I here to truly understand how to have unconditional love towards my child? Am I here so that I can contribute to society, so that I can contribute to the evolution of humanity and raise consciousness in that way? So it's like, it doesn't stop at the child. This is only one step to ultimately get you to this global perspective and bigger purpose. So maybe that's what it is. Others are here, feel very, very pulled to do something for the earth, to do everything they can to preserve the natural resources of the earth, or what have you. So again, it's not one thing. It doesn't have to be this way or that way. Just take the time to write out what you truly in your heart feel That is your higher purpose. That is the major number one line item on your agreement. The second line, uh, um, item number two on your list is um, I will have the courage to transform my life and myself in order to align with this higher purpose. That is the agreement line item number two, meaning moving forward, whatever it takes, I'm going to recreate my life according to this new goal. So, for example, my career, my work, um, I can start to look at what I do. Am I doing it just to survive, just to raise my family, to pay the bills, or am I doing it because it's really aligned with that purpose? And don't even start doing the rest of the exercise before you have outlined the higher purpose first, so that you can kind of keep seeing what is aligned, what isn't aligned. How much of my work is really getting me to leading me to this higher purpose? If some people are not 100% clear, they say, well, it's kind of a job, it's a nonprofit, and it's doing good to the planet, and so on and so forth. The way you know that you are in your truth, that you are aligned with your higher purpose, is how you really, really feel inside. Outside of obligations, outside of pain, everybody's got bills. Everybody has obligations. That's not the point. You have to put all of this to the side and go back to your gut, your heart, and see how your heart reacts. When I am doing this job, how much of me is really, really in truth? How do I really, really feel? Am I 100% happy when I'm doing this work? So of course, parts of it is a bit tedious, maybe, but ultimately, deep inside, is this work that I'm doing today 100% aligned with this higher purpose? If it's not, start deciding. I am deciding that as of 2021, I am going to transform myself so that I can attract this expression. Because again, ultimately, it will bring to self-limitation, it will bring to feeling stuck, and it will bring a lot of frustration. So why not? It's going to catch up with you. That's the thing. It's almost like you're lying to yourself. You're making excuses that, well, I'll pay the bills first, which is an obligation, and then that's what like, it doesn't work this way. So knowing that it will catch up with you, instead of wasting these 2, 3, 4, 10 years. I know people who are stuck in a job for 30 years and then they realize, I hated every minute of it. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Look at who you are, what your truth is. Do it now. Start, write down. Once you have 100% felt the way you truly feel, what your truth is about your career, your job, write it down. Don't worry about how you're going to get it. We're going to do this in the next meditation, not today. Today, we are outlining where you are aligned and misaligned so that we can let go of all the stuff that's not working, so that starting 2021, we are on target, we move forward, we know how we're going to navigate whatever comes at us. That is the idea. And so don't worry about how you're going to get it or the tools for that right now. Write down what is happening and what you want, okay? Relationships. Hello, that's the next item on the list. I don't know anybody who's not struggling with relationships right now. I'm bombarded with emails and requests and people who tell me they have relationship issues. So whether it's a spouse or it's a parent or a child, it's not always just a romantic thing. But so the dynamic is somewhat the same. What happens is that when you are stuck in a relationship that is not working, again, for those who are thinking of a work relationship with a boss, or again, a spouse or something, a boyfriend, girlfriend. The problem is there's a problem because you're not in your truth. You are deep inside in that relationship, kind of going through the motion, and you are adjusting to what the person wants. It's so funny because I usually to ask the person, well, how do you feel when you are with this person, the boss or the friend, the girlfriend or whatever? And then it always you tell me, well, he wants me to do this, or she feels this, or it's almost like you have not been able, or you're not able to really, really go inside you and decide what you want, how you want to feel. So the answer is always coming from the perspective of the other person. And I feel like that's the pattern of why you cannot resolve a relationship issue. It's because you're not focused on you. You're focused on how, like, the situation or what the other person is doing or thinking or wanting. And so you're responding for this. Well, you're responding to that. So you are doing things that are an obligation or that you hate doing, but then you're like, well, let me just do this for now until it works out, or this or that. It never works, and it will not work, and eventually it's going to not work. So why not save your time and start looking at it? Have the courage. That's why item number 2 was have the courage, because it's not easy. We settle in patterns and relationships to such a point that we almost like convince ourselves that either we're happy or that it's okay for now, or it will work itself out, again, hoping that the solution will come from the other person or from the outside, because we don't have the courage to say, you know what? I don't feel good in this relationship. This is not who I really am. How do you know that the problem? How do you figure out what the problem is with the pattern? Of course, other than doing a bit of reprogramming and going deeper into the subconscious mind, you can, deep inside, if you just take a few minutes and sit down and focus on what is going on, focus on your heart, and you can ask simple questions. How do I feel when I'm in this relationship? Do I feel like this boss or this spouse or is kind of controlling how I feel? Even, do I feel free? That's the first key. That's the first cue. Do I feel free in this relationship to be who I really am? Or am I finding myself doing other things so that the person doesn't get hurt or blah, blah, blah? So this means you're not free. It means that you are compromising, you are giving away your freedom, so that the relationship keeps working, so the boss is happy, the boyfriend is this or the girlfriend is that. And so the first question, am I really free to be who I really am in this relationship? And the person is totally coming along. Another thing is, am I stimulated? It is so important to understand that a dynamic. I'm talking about serious relationships, like, again, like a spouse, like you're married and you're together all day long in the same household. So it's something you have to deal with. So it's not like an occasional thing. I'm not talking about those types of relationships. I'm talking about the patterns that you've created, and you can't even figure out how to get out of it. So the second question, first, is, am I really free? Do I feel happy? Do I feel happy when I'm with this person really deep inside? Or am I happy only when they're happy? Huge difference, because I'm waiting for them to be happy to justify me being happy. That doesn't work. Am I really just happy in their energy? Huge. So important. Take your time to be truthful and ask that second question. Freedom, happiness. Third question, am I stimulated? It's so important because, again, we're in long-term relationship or really tight relationships, or commitment. And even with parents, even with children, you can still ask these questions. That's what I'm saying. It's not just a spouse thing. The third question is, am I stimulated? Meaning, does this person bring something to me? For example, with a kid, you're not expecting the kid to, I don't know, bring you the same thing as a spouse or something like that. But this child or this other person keeps kind of bringing up interesting things, that stimulates your mind, it stimulates your energy, stimulates your curiosity, like you feel like they are adding to your experience. It's not like they're there and you're tolerating, or you're accepting, hey, this is the way it is, and you're actually bored out of your mind. That is what I see usually in of course spouses and those types of relationship. But with the kid or with the parents, not so much boredom. It's more like, instead of being stimulated, it could be anything. Maybe they just tell you something when you talk to them, and it just kind of brings up something in you that you want to kind of understand or know about. It's as simple as that. So stimulation, are you, if especially with, like I said, with couples, the boredom sets in, and then you kind of justify, like, hey, that's the way it is, and then as long as it's working, why not just go with it? Again, it doesn't work. Why? Because we're here to create, we're here to advance, we're here to evolve. And so if you are in a relationship where the energy of the other person becomes stale, and again, this is not accusation, this is not, she did this, I did this, it's just about identifying patterns that are no longer working, that are not keeping us in alignment with what we have come to do. We have come to expand and learn and evolve. And so I was stuck in a relationship that eventually was very stale. It was kind of like, okay, so I was kind of wanting to keep this momentum, this passion of what I wanted to do in my life, but the other person, for example, was not, it was kind of doing the opposite. And so that was no longer, and just because it was comfortable, because it was familiar, it doesn't mean that, especially comfortable, especially we get used to habits, well, the person's there, well, they take care of me, I have a nice house, it's like, it's easy, it's the easy way out in a way, and you start to play games with yourself. You start to pretend that it's okay, that it's, why not, like, you don't have to have everything. That I love when I hear this, like, oh, you don't have to have everything. Yeah, it's true. I'm sure, like, the other person has certain goals and certain, not goals, certain habits or certain activities that you don't care for, and that's okay. But when it starts to go against your ability to thrive, to move forward in your energy, your creativity, then it's not okay. And so again, that's why I go back to courage. It's going to take courage for you to admit that as much as this is comfortable, as much as this is easy and familiar, I am willing to let go of this because this person is not bringing that stimulation, because I also have to bring stimulation. It's a two-way street, you see. So that's why I keep saying, have the courage to look at that, because eventually it's going to catch up with you. That comes with the growth. Do you feel, that's the next item, that's how you know how you feel, and if this is working, or you're settling in a pattern that's keeping you misaligned. Do you feel you're growing? Same thing with a parent, with a kid, with a spouse. It's the same question. Are you growing spiritually, energetically, when you are with this person, or are you kind of the other way around? So that's how you identify if you are settling in an unconscious pattern that's unhealthy for you. And by the way, you're probably assuming that that is the best way to manage because the other person seems okay, but you never know. I find out that most of the time the other person is feeling the exact same thing, it's slightly in a different way. And so it's like you're not saying anything and they're not saying anything, and you're kind of holding this weird thing underneath, kind of shoved under the carpet, and pretending that, hey, this is working. And so when you start to be in your truth, you'll be very surprised that maybe the other person has been feeling the same thing, and then this new alignment can come through. I'm talking also about people who are single, because so a lot of the time you settle in the pattern of not wanting a relationship because of all those belief systems, that the person's going to take away your freedom, that the person is going to like kind of stifle you, it's going to smother you. And so then you convince yourself that it's better to be alone, and you're okay, rather than change. So you're settling in this other comfortable, easy way out, rather than facing the truth. Face your truth. Am I really not wanting a relationship because somebody's going to stifle my freedom, or is there another fear that I'm not wanting to face? So that is so important. I mean, it's so what you're doing here, it's not even about the other person. It's about figuring out who you are and being in your truth, no matter what the situation is. So so same with so that is that's why looking at your relationship, business, work, friends, whatever, is so important to figure out who you are, where you are in this alignment. The next line item is your health, your body, your physical body. And so same thing, look at yourself in the mirror. And I'm not talking about superficial stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. We came in to occupy, to inhabit this physical apparatus. Trust me, nobody's comfortable with it. Okay, so even if you think you look good or whatever, or this or that, you still have required, like, the physical body is a new thing. It's like every time you have to adjust to all these limitations, like the food, and you get sick, and blah blah blah, and the way you look, and it's like constant kind of something to consider. You can't ignore that you're hungry, you can't ignore that you have a headache or whatever. You can't ignore these things. And I would tell you, so for the longest time, a lot of people have struggled, even now, I'm sure, have struggled with their physicality, coming to terms with their physicality, meaning a kind of, how should I say, like being in denial, or also kind of fighting the fact that, hey, I'm a spirit being, my body, it's okay, my body doesn't count, or it's not so important. Whatever happened, or it's kind of like resisting the idea, struggling with the idea that you have a physical body. I think the reason why we are so limited, for example, we cannot go without food for more than a few days. I mean, some people can go 3 weeks or whatever, or even more. You cannot go without water for more than 24 hours, or I mean, not 24 hours, I mean, whatever number of days or what have you. Why do you think we chose a physical apparatus that is so limited? We have chosen this very limited, material aspect, so that we can learn how to be free, how to be in our truth, how to be in alignment through this limitation. So that we are forced to, every meal, to stop and think, if I don't eat, I'm going to die eventually. So I'm forced to eat. Why is my body imposing these limitations on me? Is for me to pay attention to me. How am I taking care of me? And so that's the reason why the physical body is it's a healing opportunity to, again, to focus on you and your truth and who you are, in this body, as you are constantly being bombarded with these challenges. Everybody's got a challenge, I mean, some of them less more than others. Of course, everybody's at a different level, but everybody, we all have a physical body. We all have limitations, period. If you don't sleep, if I don't sleep, for example, a certain number of hours, I don't feel good the next day. So then I have to focus on that to shift it so that the following day I feel better. You see, and of course, you can do a lot with your mind. I'm not suggesting that you are a slave to your body. It's the opposite. Actually, it's the exact opposite. I'm just saying that those limitations are purposeful. They're purposeful to make you think about the decisions you're making about you, for the decision that you are making about yourself. And so if you start to look at your body, your physical body and your physical health, where you are today, and start to, again, decide, I am going to have the courage, that's what it's going to take, courage to transform the way I treat my body. That's all it takes, is that decision making, this intention, so that gradually this will manifest. And again, everything that we're doing today, everything that we're talking about today, we're not the solutions yet or the tools. We're just putting everything on the table and looking at everything with courage, looking at yourself with courage in all areas of your life, so that eventually, once you have the agreement and you have said, I am now choosing, intending to face, to transform myself so that I am in alignment. That's all that it's going to take right now in this new agreement. And then finally, the line item, now that you've looked at the way you communicate, the way you interact with others, with your work, with your creation, with, whatever, that's kind of the outside world. Last thing that you would put on this line item, the last line item on this agreement, is really the courage to transform you. Of course, you've been transforming you all along, but I'm talking more about the way you handle things. It's kind of like more on a personality level. Begin to look at yourself and notice how throughout the day, how you are reacting. So for example, when something happens, you react in a very angry way, or you react by shutting down, or you react by pulling away. It doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. Just decide, is this in alignment with who you really are? Is this your true nature? For example, do you really, really, if something happens, do you really, really feel like saying to the person how you feel? Or do you, even though that's what you really want to do, that is your truth, but you choose not to, so you don't hurt their feelings, or so you don't lose your job or whatever. So that is what I'm saying. You are starting to notice the way you are in the world, with the world, and the way you are operating. And so if you don't like that, then you start to decide to change. So for example, if you get way too emotional, I know people, for example, they get emotional over everything. And so if this is a personality trait that you like, then so be it. There's no right or wrong. Again, this is you and you. This is nothing. But if this is something that, again, keeps you stuck, keeps you kind of limited, the idea is for you to feel free, to feel aligned. If that is not happening, then you want to write down, I want to have the courage to change the way that I'm so emotional every time something happens. So this is what I feel like. This is a bit of a preparation. It's like you're writing down everything that you want to do, everything that is, first of all, looking at it with truth. And then at least in this agreement, making a decision to transform so that with the goal of becoming realigned with that higher purpose. Again, once you realign everything with that purpose, you feel free. I cannot tell you that feeling of feeling free, no matter what the world is doing. The world could be collapsing right now. There is a connection between your soul and your higher purpose. It's almost like, I want to say, the divine world, the universe. That connection is at the core of your happiness. And so when you are in alignment with that connection, when everything you do all day long is in this alignment, you feel free. It's not even like a free, like I can do what I want. It's a deeper, it's that truth that brings you peace of mind. Like there's nothing you can say that will take away this from you. It's like you feel it at the deep, deep of your soul. A sense of freedom, a sense of happiness. That's when you are really happy. And also you feel centered, you feel at peace with yourself, so that no matter what happens to the world or outside of you, you can always be sure that everything I've done today, at the end of the day, I woke up, I did this, I made breakfast, whatever, did my exercise, or I didn't do my exercise, or whatever, I did laundry. It doesn't matter, even the most mundane thing. Is there something that I did today that I wasn't really in truth of who I am? That I did because I really didn't want to, but just to please this person or to do this for that person or blah, 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 And so that is, I feel, the ultimate goal. So why is this so timely? Why are we taking the time? Again, I said that, but I'm going to say it again. It is so important because in 2020 and moving forward, we saw how 2020 brought so much stuff on us. It's almost like we were off, like, whoa, what just happened here? So we all want to kind of move from here, but I don't think 2021 is going to be that much different. It's going to be more challenges and different things, kind of along the same line. We've been talking about this. And so the world is not going to all of a sudden become nirvana. And so because of that, there's also, while we are witnessing, I'm going to talk more about this in January when I do that meditation, like how 2021 is going to unfold. But what happens is that 2021, as much as there is this chaos and limitation and all this crazy stuff that's happening, which will continue, there's also a huge amount of truth. And so what happens is that when the energy of truth starts to surface collectively on the earth, and you are not in your truth, it's going to be harder. That's why I'm telling you to do this now, to make sure you are in your truth, whatever that is, so that when the collective starting next year, I mean, it's already started, but it's going to get more and more enhanced. So the energy around you is moving towards the truth, and it's going to be pulling you right and left. And so if you are not in your truth, it's going to be harder for you, is what I'm saying. So that's why all this work is not just like, hey, of course you should be doing this work anyway, but the time that I think it's very timely and it's very, very important. The more you are also in your truth, in your freedom, in your happiness, in your joy, of course, you're going to benefit. But then you're going to support the other collective things that are based on truth that are surfacing to bring more truth to the planet, if that makes sense. So it's almost like you are in your truth, and the environment also, the part of the environment, the part of the collective that is bringing up truth is going to support you, if what I'm saying, and you're going to contribute to it. So that's kind of why I feel this is very timely. Regardless, I feel like this will help you a lot with your suffering. You're feeling limited or stuck or confused. And also, as you shift back into that truth and alignment, the better decision making you will have, because you can see more clearly, if today this is what I need to do to stay in my alignment, then if I do this every day, then the decisions I will make will be in alignment, and that will bring happiness. That's how you escape and you let go and you free yourself from your inner limitations, your self-imposed limitations, because of these subconscious patterns. Okay. I hope this was helpful. I hope this makes sense why this is so important, that I really recommend for you to take the time to do this, writing it down one item at a time, and also saying it out loud. And so without trying to figure out the solution. And then when I do the January 1st or 2nd, I'll have to see how I feel. But when I do the next year meditation, then it's almost like you have already decided or cleared up what it is that you want, what it is that you want to work on, so that that meditation will kind of set it in motion, and will also help you materialize it, and move kind of in alignment with how the collective is moving and how the whole thing is unfolding on planet Earth. Okay. So anyway, let's see. I don't know if I can look at some of the questions here. I'm on a different computer today, so I'm not sure. Yeah, these are all the chats. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just try to look at your chats later, because it's kind of hard to see on this computer, and then I'll answer you in the comments. So if you have questions, if you have more questions, just put them in the comments below, and then I will post. Of course, we'll send it also in the newsletter, but don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. It costs you nothing. And then I will post the New Year's meditation that we usually do every year, and hopefully that will be very helpful. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope you had a good time, and I will see you in just a few days. All right. Have fun, you guys. Thanks for joining.